I'm Victoria Stonewall, and this is Stonewall Reports. Viewer discretion is advised. John J. Johnson III, a notable name in today's political arena, famous for his million-dollar smile and witty campaign slogans, Johnson has become one of America's most respected politicians. But could there be a dark side to Johnson the public hasn't seen? After a tip from Johnson's former college roommate, I began to investigate Johnson's connection to the tragic death of Cornelius Cornbread Flowers. During my investigation, I was able to sit down with Eugene Stewart, Johnson's former roommate, who told me a little more about the situation.
Eugene Stewart, thank you for meeting with me today.
Yes, welcome.
As you know, in light of John Johnson's recent presidential campaign announcement, I've been digging a little more into his past, and the death of your roommate, Cornelius Flowers, sticks out as a blemish on his otherwise perfect record. So I'd like to hear a little bit more about what you know about Cornbread's death. But let's get some context first. Tell me what you do for a living.
Thank you for asking. I'm unemployed, but in my spare time I like to whittle soaps into various shapes and sizes. I also like to think I am pretty proficient in internet memes.
What are your thoughts on Johnson's campaign?
Johnson is a simple man, and I fear for the Mexicans in his upcoming campaign.
Were you and Johnson close as roommates?
Johnson was, like I said, a simple man. He liked to spend his time chasing women and working out in the recreation facilities.
What about Cornbread and Johnson? Were they close?
May I have a drink of water?
Go right ahead.
Would you like some?
No, thank you.
Cornbread and Johnson, well, their relationship was quite dynamic. They hated each other very much.
Tell me a little bit more about the police investigation of Cornbread's death. Did they ever nail down a suspect?
Yes. Johnson shut that down very quickly. He told them that Cornbread was depressed because he lost a lot of money on the Westminster Dog Show. He bet on a poodle who fell short. Essentially, the police left believing it was a suicide.
How did Cornbread really die?
It all started on a dark and stormy night. Cornbread and Johnson were both fans of the popular snack Oreo. And one day, Johnson had left his Oreo sitting out on the counter. Cornbread, a big fan of the snack, walked up, took a few, no big deal, but Johnson was very, very angry. It only escalated from there. They fought, things got violent, and the last time I saw Cornbread, he was dead, on his bed, and next to him, a suspicious bottle of water.
Did Cornbread ever say anything about the feud between him and Johnson?
The last words I remember Cornbread saying to me were, "If anything happens to me, John is responsible."
After interviewing Eugene Stewart, it became clear to me that Cornbread's murder had not been properly investigated, so I decided to do a little digging myself. I looked through the police reports as well as Johnson's criminal record. As I suspected, squeaky clean. I did, however, find an address for Johnson's old apartment. I figured the next best thing to do would be to return to the scene of the crime.
I asked you if you wanted to interview earlier. Yes, I did. You turned me down. Tomorrow at 5. All right. Be there. Thank you so much, John Johnson, for sitting down with me here today. As you know, I've been investigating the death of your college roommate, Cornelius Flowers, or as he liked to be called, Cornbread, in light of your recent presidential campaign. So I'd like to get your side of the story just to make things a little more well-rounded. But let's start with your campaign.
Yeah.
How's it going so far?
First I want to start off by thanking you for that question, because since you've been covering that story, most of my media coverage has been about that, and I haven't gotten a big chance to talk about my campaign. And what I can say is this, that I am set out to make America great again. I will win this campaign, and you can see that by the support I've been getting, the turnout at my rallies, all the donations I've been getting. I've been reaching out to people all across the nation, and I am very confident that my campaign will succeed.
Now, let's talk about Cornbread. Tell me a little bit about your relationship. Did you two get along well?
Yeah, we got along fine. We were just roommates. In college, we don't spend a whole lot of time in the room, so we weren't there a whole lot. We didn't see each other outside the room a lot either. But inside the room, it was just your basic roommate stuff. I mean, there were some scuffles about using personal items without consent. But aside from that, it wasn't anything serious.
Did you ever push him around?
When you put it like that, it just sounds like very one-sided, but we both, got a little angry at each other sometimes. Like I said before, using things without permission, that was the main thing, but it wasn't anything serious, just some arguments, that was it.
Tell me a little bit more about your third roommate, Eugene. How did he fit into the picture? Clearly, he and Cornbread were closer than you two were.
Yeah, sure. So Eugene was a little different. He was in the room a lot more than Cornbread and I were. And like I said before, Cornbread and I weren't in the room a whole lot at all. So I wouldn't know if they were in the room together a little bit sometimes, forming a friendship that way, getting close that way. I wouldn't know. It's a possibility, but I don't know.
Now, how did Eugene handle Cornbread's death? Was he as callous as you seem to be?
That's a little harsh. I don't appreciate that, because callous just seems like I don't care. But I care, but the fact of the matter is that it was some years ago. And, with time, you tend to move on from things. When I hear his name, I don't, tear up or anything like that, because it was, like I said, it was some time ago. I've moved on. Eugene, I'm not sure if he'd moved on. I can tell you this, initially, he took it very hard, because as I'm sure you've found out from your investigation so far, that he dropped out of school soon after the incident, and I haven't heard from him since, so I don't know how he's doing right now, but I can tell you that initially he took it pretty hard.
Do you think that Eugene grew to hate you after Cornbread's death?
I wouldn't say he hated me. I mean, I get that he wouldn't have an opinion about me because we didn't see each other a whole lot, but hate's a very strong word, and he wouldn't have a reason to hate me. I didn't do anything to him.
Did you kill Cornbread Flowers?
Of course not.
Then explain this.
I've had enough. I'm done with this.
Where are you going?
I'm going to the restroom.
We're not done yet.
I'm done here. There it is. You're caught. Stupid Eugene. No one liked him anyway. What a disaster. He was right. I was wrong. What the hell did I do? or disaster they know